Vince Russo points out a glaring problem with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Exclusive. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Have a nice day. For a WWE Family latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Monday Night Raw featured another high-profile segment as Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk took their feud to the next level. Vince Russo, however, felt the Shield narrative had been beaten to death, hampering Rollins and Reigns' performances. The WrestleMania 41 Night 1 main event will pretty much revolve around who Paul Heyman fully backs. This week, Rollins, Roman, and Heyman got involved in a verbal back and forth as the segment got more volatile as soon as CM Punk entered the fray. A viewer of Sportskeeda Wrestling's Legion of Raw noted that despite being in the WWE for several years, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns needed help to elevate an angle and couldn't do it themselves. Vince Russo retorted by noting that Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns were held back by the storyline, which heavily relied on their Shield history. Russo reminded everyone that the angle has been a thing in WWE since Stephanie McMahon and Triple H were active on-screen characters. The former WWE head writer explained the crux of the problem surrounding one of WWE's top WrestleMania storylines. Seth Rollins had the last laugh on the Go Home Raw episode as he delivered chair shots and stood tall over his rivals CM Punk and Roman Reigns as a shocked Paul Heyman looked on. WWE WrestleMania 41 is right around the corner. This two-night spectacle will be crucial for the OG Bloodline members, as two of the stable's top stars are booked to compete in much-anticipated bouts. While the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble winner, Jey Uso, will face Gunther for the World Heavyweight title, the OTC will be locking horns with Seth Rollins and CM Punk in a triple threat match. However, things could turn out poorly for one of them after the show shows. Jey Uso has everything on the line. He has to defend the honor of his family, take revenge for his twin brother Jimmy Uso, and win the heavyweight championship to prove his worth as a true main event superstar, emerging from the shadow of being just a tag specialist. However, if Jey Uso loses to Gunther at the grandest stage of them all, he might face the wrath and be kicked out of the Bloodline family. In a shocking turn of events, the Yeet Master could fall short of capturing the world title. On Raw, after Mania, WWE legend and Jey's father might appear and punish the Yeet Master for disappointing him by kicking him out of the family. This potential angle could add an exciting arc to Jey Uso babyface run and begin a brand new Bloodline storyline. That said, the aforementioned angle is speculative at this point, and nothing has been confirmed. With the show of shows almost on the door, it will be interesting to see whether Jey Uso can capture the title or if the ring general will continue his reign. We are just days away from WWE's biggest show of the year, WrestleMania 41. The two-night spectacle will emanate live from Allegiant Stadium in Paradise, Nevada, this weekend on April 19 and 20. WWE has announced 6 big bouts for Night 2 of WrestleMania 41, which includes 4 title matches. The closing night will feature stars such as Drew McIntyre and more in action. On that note, here are 4 bold predictions for Night 2 of WrestleMania 41. In what was a much-anticipated segment, Roman Reigns appeared on the final Raw before WrestleMania 41, live from Golden One Center in Sacramento, California. Of course, Paul Heyman accompanied him on the show. But in a shocking turn of events, the fans in the arena witnessed the tribal chief attack his wise men inside the squared circle, prompting CM Punk to launch a rescue act. When Reigns arrived at the Golden One Center, he caught Heyman talking to CM Punk backstage. He then confronted his special counsel in the ring and demanded an answer as to why he betrayed him to side with the best in the world at WrestleMania. A few moments later, Seth Rollins interrupted their conversation and joined them in the ring. Rollins told Reigns that Heyman was not bound to answer. Hearing those words from the visionary's mouth got Reigns all worked up. and he attacked his former Shield brother. Heyman, who was happy that Reigns knocked Rollins down, acknowledged his tribal chief, but Reigns shoved him down on the mat. That was the moment Punk's music hit as he came out to rescue his friend. Reigns and Punk then brawled inside the ring, giving fans their money's worth ahead of WrestleMania. Heyman adopted the role of special counsel to Roman Reigns after the latter returned in August 2020. Ever since, they've stuck together through thick, and despite being loyal to Reigns, Heyman couldn't refuse the straight-edge superstar. Reigns was in disbelief that his wise men betrayed him. This week on Raw, Seth Rollins planted more seeds of doubt in the OTC's head, which caused the latter to lay on his special counsel. Reigns' ambush on Heyman could simply be a result of him riding high on his emotions. But could it also mean he done with Heyman-Reigns' actions on Raw could potentially point to a parting of ways, one that is certainly not meant to be amicable? Reigns is scheduled to face Rollins and Punk in a triple threat match on night 1 of WrestleMania 41. Seeing the man he trusted for several years betray him to be on his rival's side at Mania could stir some heavy emotions. It will be interesting to see how this drama unfolds at the grandest stage of them all this weekend. Jacob Fatu has been on rough grounds with Solo Sikoa since the Street Champion returned on the February 7, 2025 episode of SmackDown. The Samoan Werewolf had been running the show during Sikoa's hiatus and wasn't too comfortable with the former NXT North American champion expecting to be handed over the reins. On the road to WrestleMania, fans have noticed that the issues between Jacob Fatu and Sikoa continued to spiral. The Samoan Werewolf may have confirmed stance despite the ongoing power struggle. Recently, Tama Tonga completed a year of business with WWE. He joined the Bloodline on the SmackDown after WrestleMania XL and has played a pivotal role in pushing the heel faction forward, showing that he considers Tonga his blood. The bond between the two strengthened through working together in the Bloodline and winning the WWE Tag Team Championship from on March 28, 2025. In an episode of WWE SmackDown, Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga confronted Jacob Fatu backstage. During the segment, the Street Champion asked the Samoan Werewolf to lower his voice when addressing the Bloodline members. Finally, Jacob Fatu ended the segment by letting Solo Sikoa know he would win the United States Championship with or without the Street Champion. It would look like Fatu addressed both Bloodline members, but he pointed at Tama Tonga when he said usually no one would think to decipher it further, but since this is WWE, there is a hidden message in almost everything. On April 11, 2025, in an episode of WWE SmackDown, Tonga and Sikoa teamed up against Randy Orton and LA Knight. Before the match's closing moments, the Street Champion executed a Samoan spike on the megastar before dragging the Viper away from the ring. However, the Apex Predator had already used an on Tonga before being dragged away. Knight recovered from the spike and used another RKO on the Bloodline member before pinning. Tama can blame Solo Sikoa for the loss by claiming that Solo Sikoa should have been around the ring to help him rather than brawl with the Apex Predator elsewhere.